call. Melissa Walter. Here. Deborah Schreck. Here. Bruno.
Oh,
Foot.
here.
Corey Davy.
Here.
Rena Weatherout. Ernest Littlemouth. Deborah Little Eagle.
Here.
Here. Donovan Limberhand.
Here.
Gwen Spotted Horse.
Here.
Melissa Fisher.
Here.
11 present, 1 absent, quorum established.
Father, we thank you that we're all able to meet here today and make decisions on behalf of our tribe. And we just thank you for this opportunity and just ask that you would give us wisdom and strength and continue to bless our communities and just those who are hurting, who may have lost a loved one. I just pray for comfort over them and their family members. And yeah, we just thank you that we may make our plans, but you order our steps. And we just pray that today in Jesus' name.
Call the meeting to order at 9:08.
Okay, thank you for the prayer this morning, Najoni. Do we have any announcements? This week is a busy week. We have the ground blessing on Wednesday, starting at 11. And, we have, do we have anything else going on? I know we have a funeral of Jenny Parker will be tomorrow in Ashland. Okay. So, well, Wednesday we have the ground blessing. Hearing no other announcements, we'll take care of the item number 1, elderly update.
Hibawana. Good morning.
Morning.
It seems like, to me, life's getting tougher and harder, and there's more things happening to families and people. And it's been a really tough week for my family. And I just want to say, I know that all of you have stuff that you deal with all the time as well. And I appreciate you for showing up and for being here. And when you go forward and you talk about supporting elders, supporting youth, I also want you to think about the group in the middle. Our elders are taking care of grandchildren, but they're also taking care of great-grandchildren, and our elders shouldn't be taking care of great-grandchildren. So that group that those children belong to, they're the ones that are lost. They're the ones that need help. They need jobs, they need treatment. When someone's ready to go to treatment, they say, well, you have to go to the 10-day program first. You have to do this first. And I understand that concept. It shows that they want to do it. But then they're still going home to these same houses where there's drugs, where there's alcohol, where they have to decide whether or not they stay sober. So that's not helpful to them. If they're willing to get help, put them somewhere where they can be okay, they can be safe. And then they can start, okay, I can go to this 10-day thing before I go to treatment. We're losing our young people, but we're losing our elders faster. And that's not fair and that's not right. So you guys are all going to be campaigning. Well, half of you aren't. those are things that you should think about. You should think about helping those young people that need help, the teenagers that live in these homes that need help. Because a lot of grandparents I know are struggling. I'm a grandparent and I have 4 of my 5 grandkids and I know I'm struggling, but I'm not an elder yet. I'm almost there, 4 more years. And so, I've got all kinds of things to talk about. But the elderly program is currently serving around 140 elders at the Shoulder Blade Complex, more toward the end of the month. Home delivery to Busby and Highway 212 is 6, Lame Deer is 20, and Bernie is 11. We will continue service as long as our budget allows. Caregiver training, we had 32 attendees that they were people that took care of elders. And so that was what the training was for, to take care of them so that they could get a day of rest and get appreciated for what they do. We will schedule activities as soon as we can open recs and get them approved. So we're back to our accountant. Budget. You can't see it, but there's no expenses, just this one right here. There's all this money that's budgeted and we can't get requisitions to spend it. We have vehicle operations and that's the only thing that they do. They have 1,000 in travel, telephone, they have money, member elder activities. They have $14,123.58. They've spent none of it because the accountant doesn't allow, you know, where do they do requisitions? How do they get stuff for this? Where do they order from? Who takes care of it? Do we have requisitions that we can open at like Walmart for bingo, or, you know, how do we do it? Nobody talks. Those finance people don't talk to the program people. So then it doesn't go anywhere and it sits here in this line item not being spent.
Can you call the Director of Finance?
Yeah,
Michaeline, we're gonna call in the Director of Finance.
my thing is they're not doing, the elderly program is not, the elderly program is not doing any requisitions? Are they submitting and,
They've submitted some, but they've been kicked back. Like, oh, you can't do that. You can't spend it on this. You can't spend it on that. So they don't.
And they send them back because Alberta came and met with me.
okay,
And they're having a lot of problems and then they have all this money to spend, but they can't spend it because they keep getting stopped and things keep coming back and they resubmit them and nothing's happening. Their program can't move and the accountant isn't doing their job.
The other thing I have is an email from Madison G. of the state office in Red Lodge, Area 2 on aging. And they want to know where the $25,983 is. And that was ARPA funds. They sent it to buy a stove, new stove, cooler and shipping bags, and a food slicer. The paperwork was submitted with prices of how much everything was and an invoice. Oh, my brain's not working right now. An invoice, it was submitted, but it was kicked back because the accountant said there was no budget and the money wasn't there. The Red Lodge Area 2 office is asking for receipts for this by September 17th, or they would like the money back in a check.
okay, did you guys submit a budget for ARPA?
There was a budget submitted. I don't know if it was missing stuff or what, but it sat on somebody's desk and it was just returned recently. And then the accountant said, no, we're just gonna send the money back. We're not gonna buy this stuff. But I don't know, other than that, I don't know where the budget is or what happened, but that's what I was told.
Well, the treasurer, the director of finance, and the accountant should be coming in. You can ask them. Because I mean, if your requisitions are getting kicked back, they should be telling you what is wrong with your requisition.
They should.
Or if you're not allowed to purchase from somewhere, then telling you why you can't purchase from there. And then I would resubmit another requisition. And, like for bingo things, I don't know why not Walmart. Does anybody know? We have bought stuff from Walmart, probably because it's not a small business, probably what it is, because it has more than 50,000 employees. Small business, by definition, is under 50,000 employees.
When I was a young kid, my grandpa was on the Lame Deer District Representatives back when there used to be like 40 of them. And he showed us bonds they had bought and the tribe had bought, and one was Walmart, one was Toys R Us. And I think they ended up selling them. But I mean, imagine if they would have hung on to them some 40 years ago. You wouldn't be saying we can't buy from Walmart. We would be,
Yeah.
we would probably have a good chunk of it or something. But yeah, I remember seeing those and was like, wow. I didn't know what they were then, but I remember the tribe had them a long time ago. So other than that, the elderly program, the caregiver part is also helps the grandparents that take care of their kids. And so this is a good one that we need to be able to spend money on. So that way it can help grandparents that do take care of their kids, their grandkids or their great grandkids. And, it can assist with whatever needs assistance.
Good morning. This is our treasurer and our director of finance. Elderly has submitted requisitions. Requisitions were kicked back. Said that they couldn't buy from Walmart for these down there.
Can you explain to them, Michaeline? Explain to us?
And then
On that money, trying to.
The elderly program has a caregiver Title IV Part C grant. Fund number is 321. They have, is that the one? Oh, yeah. They have $14,123.56, and they're trying to do stuff with elders that take care of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, but they're not, no matter what they try to turn in requisitions for, or they're not getting anything for it. It's always kicked back. Well, you can't do that. You can't buy that. You can't use that. And so then the money is just here. It's just sitting here. They have money, but where do they get requisitions? Where do they get purchase orders? Where can they open them? Because when they try, they get kicked back. So that's what we need to know is how do we spend this money? Because it's like, oh, you can't do that, and they give it to you and it doesn't say why. It doesn't say, well, you want to get this stuff, okay. You always have to get approval from your funding agency that you can do that. And that's not right either, because it's the program director's job to know how to spend their money. And what your accountants are telling program directors is that they don't know how to spend their money. They're micromanaging programs, and that's not right. It's up to us as program directors to know how to spend our money, but you're not giving us the tools to do it. You're not saying, okay, you can open a purchase order over here, open a purchase order over there, and you can order stuff. Cisco got paid with a check. That check bounced. They can't order food. That check, it's no big deal. We'll issue another one. Now Cisco wants money orders. How are we going to do that? It's not fair to put all of this on one person. You guys, there's so many of you that can figure out a solution. When we redid the human resources manual, William had all of us directors come in and go over it, where it needed changes, what needed to be changed. We all went over it as program directors, because that thing was this thick. And it didn't pertain to us. It pertained to an outside company, a big company, not us. The financial manual was redone by finance people program directors, anybody wasn't allowed in on that discussion. And then when it was completed and passed, and I know it's not you guys, it was before your time, they didn't give us a training on it. They didn't say, these are the changes that we made. This is what you can and can't do. So as program directors, we are in the dark. We don't know what we're supposed to do, how we make things go forward. And then if you're not writing on there telling us, well, you can't order from Walmart, but you can order from Lane Trading, or you can, something like that, then we don't know what to do. So that's where we're not communicating as people. And I know we all don't get along as families, so then sometimes that gets in the picture, or maybe we just get busy, because we do. But we need to communicate what we want from program directors so they can do what they need to do for people. And this one is for elders, for caregivers. And then this money, I don't know what you guys are gonna do with it, but so this one is from Red Lodge, and it's for a stove, shipping bags, cooler bags, and a food slicer for $25,983. They submitted everything, they turned in a budget. It was when they tried to purchase them, they got cost for them, invoice for them. The director said there's no budget, and they had turned in the budget. These are all emails and stuff that they went back and forth with different people about this, getting this money and getting it spent. Now it's September 17th, and it needs to be either spent or reimbursed by then. They want the receipts that they were purchased. So those are the two things that I have that,
When was the ARPA money received?
geez, when they were giving it out.
It was the accountant who said director.
Oh, I'm sorry,
So-
accountant.
You might want to tell them who the accountant is.
Oh, the accountant is,
Lorna,
Lorna Sue, and the director's Roberta. But yeah,
Okay, when did the ARPA money come in?
I think it's
2020 or?
there for like 2 or 3 years. I can't remember, because we've been talking about this one for a while too. Yeah,
that's the correspondence, if you guys want to see the correspondence, but
Yeah. You give it to them, and then, you got the EBR also, right?
yeah, there's an EBR here too,
Okay.
for that one too.
Reason that they couldn't buy from them?
They're all here.
The only reason I don't accept their checks.
Oh,
That's the only reason I can think of.
the what?
If
that
they don't
Walmart doesn't accept their check.
Who don't,
Walmart, they don't accept checks. And what we would do is we would give it to the individual,
yeah.
and then they
that's what
would
it
bring
said.
back the
Yeah.
receipts.
So what she said, Michaeline, is that that Walmart doesn't accept the checks from the tribe. Our purchase orders, which then becomes a check. So, it would have to be made out to, does the shopping, and then they have to return the receipts.
Okay, yeah, that can be done. I mean,
But that's what she's saying, is that that's not being explained to them.
okay, and then on the ARPA one, if it was here, when did they start submitting things to be paid out of the ARPA?
Can you just tell them
I
where,
think it's all in here.
tell them where the funds came from, so they know where to look?
Yeah, you can. Where is it? Where is it? I lost it.
Michaeline, or maybe there was carryover. We need to figure out. There's a separate for the.
They got a donation from a Red Lodge office or something.
Yeah, and she said that if they don't get the receipts by a certain time, then they want that money back.
Okay, so we can have it obligated by 9:30?
It says they give you till the end of the month, the end of September.
30?
No, you need to go shop today.
It's saying September 17th. Here.
You go shop today.
You need to take the pickup and go shop today.
No, this is for this money is for the stove and the bags and the meat slicer.
Yeah, so for the stove, I was in contact with Roberta,
and Lorna, and we discussed about it, and then I did do a follow-up on it to kind of figure out the decision on it. But the budget is being submitted, I want to say back in March of this year, and then it got lost in the shuffle somehow, or no one knows where it's at, no one can find it. So we don't know where that is. And then the ARPA money was granted through the state, not from the treasury, but through the Montana state. And then the lady said that they're asking the money back by 6:30. And then, so the requisition was in there, but then an invoice was never submitted, product was never delivered. So then it was past that point when then they're asking for the money back. We did ask Roberta to reach out to the funding agency, which is Roberta, or then I don't know, I never heard anything back. So then, well, mid-September, August.
It was, the check was given, or the check was submitted in April, and we're in September. Yeah, the ARPA check was submitted to the tribe, or the donation was submitted to the tribe in April. Is what Roberta communicated with Gwen, was that the funds were submitted in April, or the budget was submitted in April.
Yeah, we just never located that budget. Don't know where it's at.
This was,
It's from April till now that we can't just make another budget for it, or?
The lady was asking for the money back by June 30th, the granting agency. It's all in the email. So Lorna provided with me, provided for me.
they resubmitted it.
Was Lorna's,
You sure she did? She keeps copies of everything.
Roberta had a copy of it and she gave it to finance also. And the original one was not found.
Never received or approved.
But she said Roberta had submitted her copy back to finance, and there was still nothing done on it.
And so is that missing too? Because she submitted a copy of the original that she gave you the first and.
Yeah, I asked Lorna about it. She said she never found it. And then I went and dug around in the budget analyst location before Dominic was there. And I still couldn't find it either, so.
This letter's from Madison. And it says, Lorna asked her for a new budget starting July 2024. She responded, "Hi Lorna, thank you. I have attached your new budget and financials. However, Area 2 cannot offer a contract until we have proof that the ARPA funds were spent, which needs to happen this month. Please let me know where you are at with that and forward the receipts for the full expended amount, or send a check returning the $24,983 in funds by the 17th of this month."
Did you guys try to work this out
Yeah.
internally?
Can she make a copy of yours?
Stick her in there.
Yeah,
Okay. Clean, so finance is
Yeah.
gonna work closely with you and Roberta to get it resolved.
That sounds good. Thank you, guys, and I appreciate you, and good luck. And if you guys make promises, follow through with them, because everyone's like, they always promise this and then they don't do this, or they're never here. So whatever you guys decide to do it, follow up with it. And you guys are doing a good job, but that's my rant.
thank you.
Thank you. District updates. Buddy?
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, over Debbie. I just had a few updates on the hall. For the hall, Tommy and them started on it again today. We had a district meeting last week and picked out the interior colors. They're retinting the outside, and then it'll be filled with insulation this week. And I guess what I was asking from Debbie was our security cameras need to be installed. They need to install the wiring inside before they put the tin in.
So that's something maybe I could follow. But, and then our playground update, I was updated by the ARPA staff that they are busy graveling, doing the gravel crusher, and that by October 8th, they should be working back on our district playground areas for Rosebud subdivision and Muddy cluster. And another thing I was gonna ask Debbie was where our, the status of our basketball. Morning, Debbie. I guess I have another question for land board. We have a couple people in Muddy that have been waiting for their home sites to be approved since April, and they haven't received anything from land board. You guys have an update on your land board meeting?
The land board met, what day was it? And
We have meetings regular.
yeah, we have a monthly meeting.
Two people that never got their home site, she's been waiting since actually March.
There's,
They brought it to your guys' attention too.
all of them that have come in have been approved except for, I think, a couple.
Who, what do you, the last meeting it was approved?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, because we approved the cancellation of that one and approved it.
so who do they get the minutes from and then take it to down there? Do you
So
guys? send it?
Charlene was there, she did the minute.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm speaking on your guys' behalf, but.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say,
That it was approved, we approved the cancellation of the one and we approved hers. Norma signs certifies it, our signs them approved and emails them to Cassandra. So Charlene has the minutes and Cassandra has the information.
Like, how long ago was that?
2 weeks
Couple
ago.
yeah, 2 weeks.
You know, actually, if you have an issue with the land board, come and see me. Yeah. I'm here most of the time.
Well, this is just an update, so I just like to ask it this way.
Well, come see me.
That's fine. I asked about it the last couple of meetings and nobody got back to me, so. And then another thing from my district, I guess they're asking about the process of how to get your roads gravel.
We didn't even make it to that in our meeting, but we will have to sit down if we're gonna have an application. We were doing medical first.
Medical, so just have people reach out to you? Or to you, or who do they reach out to?
Yeah, have them reach out to me.
To you? Okay. And then what I was talking about was our hall cameras, where you got the code and everything. And I've been waiting for, procurement, is it?
We didn't get them?
I got the contract and everything needs to be done, signed, but Kami said that they're doing the installation on the 18th, which is already Wednesday. And then that's what they need to do, the cameras in, so they could be inside the wall.
Oh, okay.
So can you follow up on that, please? Because they almost got the outside done and they're gonna go in on the inside. Oh, and our basketball courts. What's the update on our basketball courts? The one at Muddy Cluster, like as far as the base.
The base,
Yeah, people are complaining that it's
not smooth?
yeah, it's kind of just,
Okay. Let me see what our guys can do.
okay. Because like that's the same crew that's doing our playground.
Yeah.
And they said after October 8th.
That they would be able to.
I mean, that they get back to our playground and stuff,
Okay.
but just if we can get communication to let everybody know, because.
Okay,
And that's it. All I have.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't,
We could all take a minute and say a quick prayer for one of our employees that's, been taken into comfort care. I don't know if I can say her name on here, but, we can just take a minute and say a
For
prayer.
who, Debbie? I can't hear you.
We can just take a moment. We have one of our employees that's in the hospital. Got a call from her son that, she's been taken into comfort care. And we don't know how long that will be.
There's no other district representatives here, so thank you, Muddy. To item number 3, budgets.
Good morning.
Morning.
This morning I have 3 separate resolutions. They're broken up by fiscal year. The 2 for fiscal year 25, they're separated from the program budgets and have the last one for the government services and indirect cost pool. So read them off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the first one is for program budgets fiscal year 2024. This is a resolution of the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council authorizing the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds. The fund numbers are 197, 304 discretionary, and 798.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Deborah Charette to authorize the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds, 197 through 798. Second by Eva Foote. Melissa Lombard. Yes. Deborah Charette.
Yes.
Norma Gorno. Eva Foote.
Yes.
Dejoni Freeze.
Yes.
Tori Davy.
Yes.
Donovan Lumberhand.
Yes.
Silver Little Eagle.
Yes.
Gwen Spotted Horse.
Yes.
Melissa Fisher.
Yes.
10 yes, motion carried.
All right, the second resolution here is for the program budgets for fiscal year 2025. This is a resolution of the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council authorizing the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds. The fund numbers are 789, 643, 615, 280, 145, 595F, 795, 817B, 817C, 178C, 178B, 747, 745, 698, 331A, 354, 331B, 330C, 389, 727, 724, 330D, new special diabetes program, 330A, 330G, 330B, 330I, 330E, 330H, 330F, the new NCDOT raise grant, 595A, 595C, and 595D.
Make that motion.
Motion by Deborah Charette to authorize the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds, 789 through 595D, second by Melissa Fisher. Melissa Lombard,
Yes.
Deborah Charette,
Yes.
Norma Gurno, Eva Foote,
Yes.
Joni Freeze,
Yes.
Ray Davy,
Yes.
Donovan Lumberhand,
Yes.
Spotted Horse, Melissa Fisher,
Yes.
10 yes, motion carried.
All right, the last resolution is for the government services and indirect cost pool. This is a resolution of the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council authorizing the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds. The fund numbers are 100050.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Deborah Charette to authorize the modification and/or adoption of certain budgets for the expenditure of available funds, 100 through 050, second by Melissa Fisher. Melissa Lombard. Yes. Deborah Charette.
Yes.
Norma Gurno, Eva Foote,
Yes.
Joni Freeze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donovan Lumberhand,
Yes.
Silver Little Eagle,
Yes.
Gwen Spotted Horse. Yes. Melissa Fisher.
Yes.
10 yes, motion carried.
Thank you, Dom. Next item, item number 4, minutes. I'll make a motion to approve June 19th minutes.
Second.
Motion by Melissa Fisher to approve June 19th regular session tribal council meeting minutes, second by Deborah Charette. Melissa Lombard. Deborah Charette. Eva Foote,
Yes.
Joni Freeze,
Yes.
Corey Davy,
Abstained, I was not here.
Donovan Lumberhand,
Yes.
Silver Little Eagle,
I'll also.
Gwen Spotted Horse. Yes. Melissa Fisher.
Yes.
Seven yes, abstained. Oh, I'm sorry, 8 yes, and abstained, motion carried.
Okay, item number 5, youth council, Silver Liberty.
I made some changes to the youth constitution bylaws. First one, Article 5, Section 1, I would like to rearrange the dates of elections from May to October to be in theme with our election. And then also this would set in place the summit timeframe, August. And then Article 5, Section 2, I inserted a email address and Ray was able to set this address up. So it's functionable. Article 9, Section section 1. The when they first approved the Constitution, there was some misunderstanding between the Youth Advisory Board and the Youth Council. So then this would just omit the at-large seat. And Article 9, Section 4 is just a minor change that the advisory board must be present in person. Article 9, Section 5, this empowerment reasons places the duty on the youth council for assisting in setting up the election process. Article 10, Section 1 just omits the election board process. So yeah, a resolution of the Northern Cheyenne Tribe approving amendments to resolution for DOI 087. And skip to the fourth whereas, resolution DOI 087 established the Northern Cheyenne Youth Council, approved the Northern Cheyenne Youth Council Constitution and bylaws, and approved the Northern Cheyenne Youth Council's involvement with the Unity Network. And whereas the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council wishes to make the following amendments to resolution DOI 087. Therefore, be it resolved that resolution DOI 087 is amended as follows. That's my motion.
I'll second your motion, but, I don't, why would we want to omit an at-large? And youth that would, like we have youth that live in Billings, we have youth that live in Cold Strip.
Oh, no, they're still in the Constitution, but that was from the youth.
But if if Cold Strip, they can still run?
Yeah, for the off-reservation seat.
Oh, okay. So it's not an at-large.
Yeah.
It's like a position.
Yeah, the youth advisory board is like their adult mentors.
Okay.
Motion by Silva Little Eagle to approve amendments to resolution number DOI 087, 2024, second by Melissa Fisher. Melissa Lombard?
Yes.
Deborah Schreck?
Yes.
Norma Gorno?
Yes.
Najoni Freeze?
Yes.
Corey Davy?
Yes.
Donovan Lumberhand?
Yes.
Silva Little Eagle? Spotted Horse?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
And yes, motion carried.
Okay, item number 6, Norma?
The Dina was passed out?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So remember when we had our, our planning session and we talked about the digital equity grant, and the initial proposal had been written for 11.5 million or something like that. And then the match ended up being a little over $500,000 cash match from the tribe. And so I talked to RJS and we narrowed down the proposal. And remember that the purpose of submitting this grant is to provide internet services to the homes. That means the hardware and the service. The hardware will include the routers and hopefully be able to get each home a laptop or a computer desktop. And then it would provide, and it would pay for the monthly fee for the 4 years after the broadband line is completed. So this proposal is due next week. They hope to start making announcements of who is eligible in April of 2025. Hoping that that we're successful and that our proposal gets funded. But in the meantime, the proposal writers, along with recommendations from myself and Jeff Little and Lane, we talked about the cash match. We think it's too much of a burden. We lowered it because it was supposed to be 500,000 a year. So we took away some of the training and some other components of the proposal. And so we've narrowed it down to where we're still gonna tried to do the basic services that we started out with, which is the router and the monthly service charge and the equipment to be able to log on to the internet. So you have before you this resolution that, excuse me. The tribal council has authorized the submission to National Telecommunications and Information Administration for their Digital Equity Act program, Broadband USA, for expanded broadband services to households and businesses within the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. Submission of the grant requires a 10% financial match to apply for the grant, and the tribe is submitting a digital that will include funding for 4 years and requires a 10% cash match of approximately $140,000 for each year of the proposed grant period. The Northern Cheyenne Tribe generates funds from management and use of their natural resources, and which are under the control of the Tribal Council for tribal programs and to engage in any business that will further the economic well-being of the members of the tribe. And a portion of these funds may be used to provide the cash match should the tribe be successfully awarded said grant from NTIA. Therefore, it be resolved that the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council hereby approves submission of the grant to the National Telecommunications and Information Administration for expanded broadband services to tribal members and businesses on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, and authorizes a financial commitment for 4 years should the tribe be awarded funds for enhanced internet and digital services to be provided by the grant. And be it further resolved that the 10% financial match in the amount of $140,000 shall be budgeted and incorporated into the annual budget appropriations from Public Law 7324707, Northern Cheyenne Tribe Land Acquisition Account, or any other available funds under the control of the tribe. That's my motion.
Second.
I have a question. So this will provide the hardware, or whatever, for homes, right?
And
They'll buy the router and a
So,
computer.
I mean, but the whole plan for this is so it's self-sustaining. So we will, the tribe will make money off of this. And then the money that is put into this, the reason I'm saying that is because we do these businesses thinking that it's a benefit, but we need to make sure that it continues to benefit our membership. Because like with the propane, the whole or one of the main purposes was the limit for the minimum. The minimum amount was $50. Now it's $100.
Well, I think in
And I
this proposal
understand.
it's budgeted for $75.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure it continues, or there is plans to make it
Self-sustaining.
self-sustaining.
Yeah, that's why we applied for the grant in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. About yes,
Did Eva second or
Debbie.
Debbie did? Okay. Motion by Norma Gorno to approve and authorize a financial commitment for the NTIA Digital Equity Grant Program. Second by Deborah Charette. Melissa Lombard.
Yes.
Deborah Charette.
Yes.
Norma Gorno. Eva Foote.
Yes.
Najoni Freeze.
Yes.
Tori Davy.
Yes.
Donovan Lumberhand.
Yes.
Silver Little Eagle.
Yes.
Gwen Spotted Horse.
Yes.
Melissa Fisher.
Yes.
Yes, motion carried.
Okay, item number 7, Melissa.
So, we'll present, or we'll get a resolution done for this. Mariah called, Ed this morning. There's a couple of grants that, paperwork that we need to submit for funding from Southeast Corporation, or the whole, grant that they applied for, and the Coal Board grant. So I'm just presenting it without a resolution, but we'll get the resolution done. That's my motion
What are the projects? I'm sorry.
for the board grant.
I mean, what are the projects? Or what do you?
Projects are the Travel Plaza right now, the
Okay.
Langdor District Community Center and the Travel Plaza.
Okay.
Okay, I'll second.
I'll second.
Yeah, she can say.
So is the motion just to approve the co-board grant?
Yeah, application.
And including in that southeastern Montana development one too, right?
Yeah,
Because they're gonna submit,
we'll put them on one.
yeah, so it'll be, but put it in the motion too.
Yeah.
It'll need to be in the minute.
SEDC
Board grant application and Southeastern.
Development,
Development,
Development.
the SEDC.
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 Motion by Melissa Lombard to approve the Cole Board grant application and Southeastern Development grant application. Second by Deborah Schreck. Melissa Lombard?
Yes.
Deborah Schreck?
Yes.
Alma Borno? Eva Foote?
Yes.
Joni Freeze?
Yes.
Tori Davy?
Yes.
Ken Lumberhand?
Yes.
Silver Little Eagle?
Yes.
Gwen Spotted Horse?
Yes.
Melissa Fisher?
Yes.
10 yes, motion carried.
Okay, item number 8.
Morning, everyone. Folders that I brought you this morning, I enclosed the documentation of the information we were provided by the Fort Belknap Tribe Justice Department and Executive Branch. There were several startling findings in this investigation that was, I guess it was done by the tribal council, by members of the tribal council on September 11th, Wednesday, September 11th. We were given information that the school board had hired the current superintendent
They want to go into executive.
without a background check. So we decided, I decided, along with representation from a couple people that have grievances against the school right now, as well as a couple of tribal council members. Lone Bear.
Can we go into executive for this?
No. Councilwoman Fisher was also there.
Talking about personnel, so.
That's,
Yeah, you need to go into executive.
I haven't, the school.
What personnel actions are,
Public officials, elected officials. So,
Because you get backlash on this.
I'm gonna get,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, because if you're gonna be talking about this during our council meeting, you know, if the backlash comes, it's gonna come on you.
okay, so I don't understand how backlash can come on me. I know that affidavits and protection orders are public information. I don't understand why there would be any backlash.
Yeah, and then has this been put before the board? Because the board governs the superintendent.
The board also hired the superintendent without a background check, President.
Yeah, I do know that, but, you know, then if
You guys,
it comes to the,
you have 2 board members here. Did you guys do a background check?
There's a lot.
So then if this stuff came out and it's not on the federal one and it's on the tribal one, I would think that would be up to your superintendent you hired to disclose that information. And if she didn't, you guys will have to handle it if we give you that information. Because that's something that she should have disclosed herself.
Well, that's why we don't understand why we're here today, because you guys should let us handle it if it is. But we did do a background check. Background check came back clean. So then we start these were revealed to us, she revealed it to us, so, and we're trying to deal with it now. But here we are, you know, and excluding the superintendent's a little extreme also.
Chairman, my concern is that if we start dealing with personnel issues on the council floor, it's going to open floodgates for every other employee to come directly to the council.
Yeah, you're setting a precedent.
There's also no conviction. I worked in law enforcement for 30 years. Everybody tells me you're innocent until proven guilty. There is no conviction.
Exactly what are you talking about? Conviction on what?
You say she's being charged.
So I have,
We should decide if we're going to,
Yeah, I think we need to,
what are we going to do?
I think it should be discussed, the board should be discussing. I mean, if you don't want the council involved or talking about it right here, I think you need to let us know right now. Because I don't think it belongs here.
Well, Debbie called for an executive session, so let's go into executive session then.
Debbie, did you want to go into executive session? to
Yes.
discuss this? Okay, so Meeting back to order at 10:47.
But everybody can come back in. Hold on, secretary's not back in the room yet.
Oh, there she is.
There you go.
Okay, who's gonna go? Okay.
To discuss these items.
What is it?
Okay, secretary just brought in an email from Brian. He wants to know, if there's a time this week that he could discuss, via Zoom, the following items. The Excel Energy meeting in Denver, broadband updates, Bull Mountain coal development, and then, Brian and Lena will be named here October 8th through the 10th. But he wants to know when he can discuss, if there's a time this week that he can discuss those 3 items.
This afternoon? This afternoon.
Okay, I'll text him. Okay. Let me, have something to say, Dana? You have something to say?
I'm representing Robert Cunningham here. And that whole issue about executive session and stuff, I mean, it wasn't a personnel issue. It was about protecting our kids, you know? I've heard Silver's, stuff about the youth and stuff. Everybody talked about the youth. Now, all the stuff that Tori was trying to present, it's a matter of public record. There was no personnel issue about it. What's on the agenda is excluding. You guys didn't go in executive session.
Well,
Wait, you guys didn't go in executive session when you talked about Officer Dela. You didn't go in executive session when you talked about Dean Wallowing Bull. You didn't go in executive session when you talked about Pastor Dean. They all harmed somebody here. This kid, what Tori's trying to do is prevent that before it happened. Got a rap sheet from, and retaliating. My client, he got retaliated. Now, you guys are supposed to protect our tribal members. Tribal member. Even though he don't look like it, he's a tribal member. He's enrolled here.
And talk to the president, like the secretary.
And he got retaliated against. They're all under the Whistleblower Act. And he still got retaliated against. That superintendent, I thought about it over the weekend. That superintendent, she's not the one that's under the gun here. It's her record. The ones that should be under the gun or, the school board, they're the ones that put her there. Or is the one that took that action, And I heard him say that they did a background check. HR told me there wasn't a background check.
Yeah.
There was 3 employees up there that they didn't do a background check. They just brought a Crow guy in today. Got armed robbery on his record. I mean, come on, guys. You guys are supposed to protect the tribal enrolled members here. This outsider come in and she starts disrupting that school up there, making all kinds of decisions, and this board is lying to you guys. There's all kinds of black and white. Black and white don't lie. But you guys are gonna overlook it? You're gonna overlook all those kids up there? Am I gonna be forced to pull my kid out of the school up there? Because you guys don't wanna protect them? You're gonna allow chaos and mayhem to go on up there? My client has a family, he has kids. And that's being jeopardized today because of false allegation, because of false. When you're under the whistleblower act, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys know that. No action is supposed to be, no retaliation. Everything about this case was public information. That's how it came to us. Tribal courts, tribal council, vice presidents, they sent it, public information. So the ones that should be under scrutiny right now is that school board. So my question
Did
to
you
you
take your
guys,
case to them on this gentleman here?
we're working on it,
So it needs to go before the board.
yeah, but I'm here to talk about item number 8. Or number 7.
And I think that is the next step. The board now knows more, and so the ball is really in their court. So we'll see what happens next after that. I think since we already talked about this in executive, I don't see why it's relevant to continue talking about it while we're live.
Well, because my client has rights as well. You guys just shut everybody out. And there was nothing personnel about it. And you guys shut the doors on everybody.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys do? When real heavy duty issues come up, you close that door, go in executive, so the people don't get to hear what's going on? My client has the right to know what's going on.
But
This behind closed doors stuff has to stop.
it needs to go before the board first. It shouldn't.
I don't have faith in that board.
That's right. There you
Look at what they hired up there.
Come to
There's 4
the board.
up there.
Get control.
We don't talk about personnel.
Okay,
4 individuals up there.
That works.
Okay,
the item number 8 was discussed in executive session. And we did talk about this issue in executive session. So the board is going to, is in charge of.
Backpedal and clean up their mess.
So how many times are we gonna allow this to happen? How many times? How many times are we gonna allow them to violate policy and do things to damage our school?
We're going to go on to the next item and any more questions?
What am I,
Discuss.
I'm my client here.
Listen, any more questions in regards to this can be addressed to the president because the boards are under the president.
no, we may correct that under me, but
So we already,
It's an elected board.
the council has already made recommendations to the board and the president made recommendations
Tell
to.
the public what the recommendations were.
I gotta say something.
They're
May I have
elected.
the floor?
They're elected officials,
we
just
have
like you
another
guys.
item that we're.
And you know what?
discuss.
With all due respect, guys, we have a very serious situation going on right here that needs to be discussed. Can I have the floor, please? May I? Okay. So I'd like to explain to you, a little more of what Mr. Eagle Feathers is trying to say. What you guys are asking,
Sorry,
you're asking,
on. Because we talked about this situation in executive,
Can I-
I don't want to say,
How come,
Either make a motion or,
why won't you let me finish what I'm saying?
okay, either we're going to make a motion on this item or we're not. I mean, that we're done with the open for
I
discussion.
don't understand this. I don't understand this, you guys. Wow, this is unbelievable.
We had a discussion.
We didn't have a discussion. You stopped me from talking. I didn't get to discuss what I wanted to discuss. I wasn't allowed. You let those guys sit there and say everything they wanted to say, but nobody let me finish what I'm trying to say once. Nobody. Nobody. And we have tribal council witness to this, that I was not allowed to finish what I wanted to say. I wasn't. I was told that, oh, we're not discussing that. As a matter of fact, I was told, we went completely off subject from what I was talking about.
The item that we were discussing was the exclusion of the Northern Cheyenne Tribal Superintendent.
Exactly.
And that wasn't relevant right there.
Yes,
what you
it
were-
was, because you're asking us to trust the board to make this decision. You're asking us, the public, asking the tribal council to trust the board's decision-making when I have so much evidence. Their absolute lack
Are you gonna make a motion or not?
of ability of doing that.
Are you gonna make a motion or not?
Well, for fear of retaliation, I don't know. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should, because I know that people are gonna go to work right away. And there's gonna be backlash on me, and it's gonna be directly on me, which is, I feel like that's insane.
Well, you read off the ordinance that you want to present, so are you, the floor is open. Are you going to make a motion on number 8 or not?
I would like to make a motion to approve the ordinance excluding the superintendent of NCTS.
I'll second.
Dina, we got a motion and a second on the floor.
Motion by Tori Davy to approve the ordinance excluding attendant from the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. Second by Donovan Lumberhand. Melissa Lombard.
before I vote, I just want to make a comment here. And I expressed my personal opinion of this person. But as far as exclusions go, and I signed the agenda request based on what we've done to protect kids. But we have a board that is still in charge of the school. And before we take action, because she has not harmed a child here, to my knowledge, nothing was presented that shows me that she's harmed a child. So, my vote is no.
Wow.
Oh, did you say my name? No.
Norma Gorno.
I have some I want to say first. So I read the request that's on the agenda. I read it. It's for the exclusion of the superintendent. I read the documents that were submitted that had to do with her background. And I don't know if you guys read it, but I read them. And the complaints against that woman had to do with her hollering. She was intimidating. She was shouting. She had threatening behavior. And to me, there has to be a higher threshold for people that are excluded. And the board has told us that they will look into the charges that you submitted, the court orders that you submitted, because to me, that's what we're voting on today. Now, if you have other issues with the board, there's a process to remove them. There's a process to deal with that. And that's what I recommend that you do. But to exclude somebody for yelling and intimidation and shouting and threatening behavior on another reservation, that's something that they need to deal with. They haven't excluded her for those same, they put a temporary restraining order on her against that individual. So today, you know what, Tori? My vote has to be no.
Eva Foote?
Just hearing all of it, I agree that there's nothing that she has done so far on our reservation with our children to be excluded. So my vote today is no.
Dejoni Freeze?
No.
Tori Davy?
Well, since I have the floor, finally, this situation that is being ignored by the tribal council right now, it'll come to light. It'll come to light. It'll come to light when it's time to reelect tribal council members. It'll come to light when it's time to reelect presidents, vice presidents. It'll come to light. I have provided you with more than enough information to expedite the process of removal of the board and also removal of the current superintendent of NCTS. To be honest with you, I feel like I've been kind of set up. I do. Because that was not what I was told on Wednesday when we called. And Councilwoman Lone Bear was sitting in my office and she jumped when we made the suggestion to have a special and remove her. And actually in the office, when we were discussing it in Debbie's office, after we failed, or before we failed to meet quorum, Councilwoman Lone Bear said that she would, quote, vote yes on exclusion, but because I had also made a request to ad hoc the school board, she said she would not vote yes to ad hoc the school board. Everybody seemed like they were a little more fired up on Wednesday. It's shocking to me because I came in here today with all of this information, boxes full of stuff for you guys, and you have refused to hear it. You are asking me, as a father of 3 students at NCTS, as the football coach who was recently fired for absolutely no reason. You haven't even let me explain that situation. I haven't even got to explain anything. I mean, I have an hour's worth of stuff here to discuss with you guys and you refuse to hear it. But yet you're asking me to have faith in the board making a decision on the current superintendent when they were the ones that put us in this mess in the first place. Their incompetence and blatant disregard for the NCTS policy manual is evident. It's right here in black and white for you to look at, and you refuse to open your eyes to what I am trying to bring to your attention. It's amazing. I don't know what to say right now, because as a tribal official, I took an oath to protect the people, the elders from abuse, the children from abuse, the people from wrongdoing. I took an oath. It's part of my oath of office as a tribal councilman. I have integrity. I don't lie. At one point, up until a month ago, I was the Northern Cheyenne Tribal School Liaison